Céline Dion was born on March 30th, 1968 in Charlemagne, a small town in Quebec, Canada. She was the youngest of 14 children in a working-class family. Her parents, Adamar and Thérèse, loved music and passed that love on to their children. The Dion family often sang together, and young Celine quickly stood out with her powerful voice. At just 5 years old, she sang at her brother's wedding, leaving everyone stunned. Even then, people said her voice sounded much older than her age. Her family opened a small piano bar where Celine often performed alongside her siblings. This early exposure gave her confidence on stage, but it was not just confidence. Her voice had a natural strength that people couldn't ignore. At 12 years old, Celine, with the help of her mother and brother, recorded a demo song called Ce n'était qu'un rêve. It was only a dream. They sent it to music manager René Angélil, who at first wasn't sure if he wanted to listen. When he finally played the cassette, he was blown away. He even cried, realizing he had discovered something special. René saw incredible potential and decided to guide her career. He believed so strongly in her that he mortgaged his house to fund her first album. Celine's journey had officially begun, and she was ready to leave her small town behind for the world stage. The little girl with the big voice was about to rise. In the early 1980s, Céline Dion became a teenage sensation in Quebec. Singing entirely in French, she released several albums that quickly made her a household name in Canada. Songs like La Voix du Bon Dieu and Tellement, J'ai d'amour pour toi showed her amazing vocal control and emotional depth, even as a young girl. She won her first Félix Award, the Canadian version of the Grammys, in 1981, proving that her talent was undeniable. Celine worked non-stop. By her mid-teens, she had already released multiple albums and performed in front of large audiences. She wasn't just singing, she was building a career brick by brick. Her mother designed her stage outfits, and her siblings often traveled with her, making the family bond part of her journey. The key person driving all of this was René Angélil, her manager. He carefully guided her career, teaching her the importance of discipline, patience, and professionalism. René also had a vision beyond Quebec. He knew Celine needed to learn English to break into the global market. At first, Celine resisted. English felt foreign to her, but René pushed her to take language classes. This was a turning point. While she was already loved in the French-speaking world, the English market was much bigger. René believed Celine could be more than just a Canadian star. He believed she could be an international superstar. Her French albums brought her fame in Canada and France, but bigger dreams were on the horizon. By the late 1980s, Céline Dion faced the biggest challenge of her career, conquering the English-speaking world. She spent years studying the language, practicing every day until she could express herself naturally. Her first English album, Unison, 1990, was her bold entry into the international scene. The album included the hit single, Where Does My Heart Beat Now?, which climbed the U.S. charts. It was her first English song to gain real success, and it proved she could cross cultural barriers. Many artists struggled to transition between languages, but Celine made it look effortless. Her voice carried the emotion, even if her accent was still noticeable. Around this time, she also performed a duet with Peabo Bryson for Disney's animated film Beauty and the Beast, 1991. The song became a massive hit, winning a Grammy and an Academy Award. Suddenly, Celine was no longer just a Canadian singer. She was a global star. What made her stand out was not just her technical skill, but the way she poured her emotions into every lyric. She sang as if every song came from her own life story. Still, this period wasn't easy. Learning a new language while building a career was exhausting, but Celine never gave up. Her determination and discipline paid off. The world was beginning to notice her name, and soon she would be unstoppable. While her career was taking off, something deeply personal was happening behind the scenes. Céline Dion was falling in love with her manager, René Angélil. He was 26 years older than her, and at first, their relationship was professional. René believed in her talent, and Celine trusted him completely. Over time, that trust grew into something stronger. Celine kept her feelings private for years, fearing what people would say. The age difference was big, and she didn't want anything to damage her career. But by the early 1990s, she could no longer hide it. In 1994, Celine revealed her love to the world, and that same year, she and René got married in a grand ceremony at Notre Dame Basilica in Montreal. The wedding was like a fairy tale, broadcast on television for millions to see. For Celine, it was not just about romance, it was about marrying the man who had been with her from the very start. René was not only her husband, but also her business partner, mentor, and greatest supporter. Their relationship was often criticized because of the age gap, but Celine always defended it. She said their love was real, built on respect and trust. Together, they formed a strong team, both personally and professionally. As Celine's career reached new heights, René stood by her side through every triumph and challenge. Their love story became one of the most famous in music history. The 1990s belonged to Céline Dion. After Beauty and the Beast, she released a series of albums that turned her into one of the most successful singers in the world. Her 1993 album, The Color of My Love, included the ballad, The Power of Love, which became her first #1 hit in the United States. Audiences loved her soaring voice and emotional delivery. She wasn't just singing songs, she was making people feel them. Concerts were sold out everywhere. Her fame spread from North America to Europe, Asia, and beyond. But her biggest breakthrough came in 1996 with the album Falling Into You. The record included hits like Because You Loved Me, which was featured in the movie Up Close Personal. The song became a wedding favorite worldwide, and Celine's voice seemed to touch hearts across cultures. Then came 1997. Celine recorded My Heart Will Go On for the movie Titanic. At first, she wasn't sure about the song, but René encouraged her to do it. The result was history. The song became one of the best-selling singles of all time and won an Academy Award and several Grammys. By the end of the decade, Celine was not just a star, she was a legend. Her albums sold millions, her songs dominated the charts, and her concerts filled stadiums. The little girl from Charlemagne had become a queen of music. As Celine's career exploded, she also longed for something more personal. A family. She and René dreamed of becoming parents, but the journey was not easy. They faced difficulties conceiving and turned to medical treatments to help. After years of waiting and hope, their first son, René Charles, was born in 2001. For Celine, it was one of the happiest moments of her life. Becoming a mother changed her perspective. She wanted to balance family with her demanding career. Even while performing, Celine made sure her children were her priority. Later in 2010, she and René welcomed twin boys, Nelson and Eddie. Their home was full of love and laughter. Despite the joy, challenges came. Too. René faced serious health issues, battling throat cancer. Celine often paused her career to take care of him, showing her deep devotion. Fame never blinded her. Her family always came first. Fans admired her not only for her music, but also for her strength as a wife and mother. She proved that even at the height of global stardom, she remained grounded in love and family values. Her family life gave her songs even more meaning. When she sang about love, heartbreak, or hope, it wasn't just performance, it was her truth. In 2003, Céline Dion took a bold step that changed the music industry forever. She began a long-term residency in Las Vegas at Caesar's Palace. At the time, residencies were seen as something artists did at the end of their careers, but Celine transformed the idea. Her show, A New Day, was a spectacular mix of music, dance, and visuals. It wasn't just a concert, it was a theatrical experience. Fans from all over the world traveled to Las Vegas to see her. The residency became one of the most successful in history, running for years and earning hundreds of millions of dollars. The stability of Las Vegas also allowed Celine to stay close to her family while still performing regularly. Unlike touring, which required constant travel, she could now balance motherhood and career more easily. Her success in Las Vegas opened the door for other artists like Britney Spears and Elton John to follow. Suddenly, a residency was no longer a sign of decline, but a mark of prestige. Celine proved once again that she was a pioneer. She didn't just adapt to the music industry, she reshaped it. Her time in Las Vegas made her not only one of the highest paid performers in the world, but also one of the most respected. In 2016, tragedy struck. Céline Dion lost her husband and manager, René Angélil, after his long battle with cancer. The man who had guided her career, supported her dreams, and shared her life was gone. Celine was heartbroken. Just 2 days later, her brother also passed away, deepening her grief. Despite the pain, Celine showed remarkable strength. She continued performing, dedicating her shows to René's memory. On stage, she often spoke about him, telling fans that he was still with her in spirit. Her vulnerability made her even more loved. People admired her courage to keep singing even while carrying so much sorrow. Celine admitted that losing René left her unsure of the future. He had been by her side for her entire career, both as her husband and as her manager. Now, she had to learn to navigate the world on her own. But instead of stepping back, she used her music as healing. Songs took on new meaning. Every lyric about love and loss felt more personal than ever before. Fans felt connected to her pain and found comfort in her strength. The years after René's passing became a new chapter in Celine's life, one filled with both challenges and resilience. After René's passing, Céline Dion entered a new era. She released the album Courage in 2019, her first English album without René's guidance. The songs reflected her journey through grief, strength, and the will to keep going. The title track became an anthem for resilience, not only for Celine, but for her fans worldwide. She also reinvented her style, surprising fans with bold fashion choices and collaborations. Celine became a fashion icon, often spotted in unique outfits during Paris Fashion Week. It showed a different side of her personality, fun, daring, and full of confidence. But while her public life sparkled, health challenges began to appear. In recent years, Celine revealed she was battling a rare neurological disorder that affected her muscles and ability to sing. The news worried her fans, but she remained honest and open, promising to fight through it. Even as she faced health issues, Celine's determination never faded. She reminded fans that her journey wasn't only about music, but also about courage, family, and love. Her story of reinvention proved she was not just a singer, she was an inspiration. Through every hardship, she kept moving forward, carrying her fans with her. Céline Dion's life is more than just a career. It's a story of dreams, love, loss, and resilience. From a small-town girl in Charlemagne to one of the greatest voices in history, she has touched millions of hearts. Her songs, from The Power of Love to My Heart Will Go On, have become timeless classics. They play at weddings, funerals, and special moments around the world. Her voice is a soundtrack to people's lives. But beyond the music, Celine's legacy lies in her character. She showed the world that success doesn't mean losing humility. She cared deeply for her fans, her family, and her team. Her love story with René inspired many, and her courage in the face of loss and illness continues to move people. Céline Dion is more than an icon. She is a symbol of strength, vulnerability, and hope. Even if health struggles limit her future performances, her impact will never fade. The girl who once sang in her family's piano bar became a global legend. Her voice will forever echo across generations, reminding us that true talent, when mixed with heart and perseverance, can change the world. Céline Dion's story is not just about music, it's about life, love, and legacy.